This is one of the more rewarding parts of making a piece out of walnut. It's when you put the first little dab of finish on it. Walnut is one of those woods that can either be really, really pretty or really, really ugly. So what I have here is I have to match the finish that is on the other piece. The chest of drawers and on the bed. So I'm finishing it exactly the way I did, I guess it's 17 years ago now. And that is, it's going to have 2 coats of tung oil. And the tung oil is cut 50-50 with mineral spirits. And the first coat will go on, take a couple days to dry. Then I'll take a real fine abrasive and wipe it down again and put a second coat on. But at any rate, what I really enjoy about this is that this will turn really, really dark when the oil goes in. And the reason I cut it 50% with mineral spirits is so that I can get it to go deep into the woods. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on. I'll do the inside panels first and work my way out to the rails and stile. Got to be really careful and not get a heavy coat next to the portion of the panel that goes underneath it. So I'll even out the amount that I have on my rag and make sure that I don't dribble it down into the grooves. Because I really don't want it puddling in those areas. But if there's just something warm about the way that the oil changes the color, brings out chatoyance in the wood. Chatoyance is that property that hardwoods predominantly have, where it makes them look as if you can see deeper into the wood than just the surface. I've talked about this on other videos. But at any rate, I put it on, fairly heavy, I suppose. You don't want to put it on dry. Okay. And then I'll come back with another cloth, and anything that's on it a few minutes after I get done, I'll wipe that up, because you don't want to leave the puddles. It'll just get tacky on you, because tung oil needs to really soak in. The mineral spirits will dry. The tung oil, it'll be dry to the touch, but it won't be, it'll leave a little bit of remnants in a semi-liquid state. It'll feel dry to the touch, as I said, but if you leave it puddled, then you'll end up with a sticky place. I suppose it does dry, maybe you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that for it to dry enough. So I'll take the dry portion of the rag and I'll clean up any puddling that I've got. There's a dry place right there. Okay. We'll set that up there and let it soak in. When oiling this case, I chose to use a time lapse. This tung oil that I'm using is a little bit yellow. That color seems to tone down the cool or warm up the cool tone. That's kind of a purplish red maybe of the walnut and turn it into more of a deep brown warm tone, to my way of thinking. But anyway, I chose to do the time lapse so that I could get it all in here in one short clip and see if you agree that the oil is the perfect complement for walnut wood when you're trying to get a classic walnut finish. A buddy of mine owns a cabinet shop, and I was really impressed with the cabinets he made for us. So I asked him what he used to finish them with. And he got me onto this Ultra Lacquer. It is pre-catalyzed, which means you don't have to mix anything with it to use it. And it's what they call a water or clear white, means that it's not tinted yellow, lacquer. I really have been impressed with how well it's worked. This is the second project that I've used it on now, and it has some interesting properties. One of the more interesting properties is that it's really designed to be put on in a 3-coat preparation with a little light sanding between coats. The first coat can be put over bare wood. I chose to put it over the top of the tung oil, of course, because I wanted the nice warm tone that the tung oil would bring. I chose the clear sealer because I didn't really want to build up yellowing into the finish. I just wanted to use that yellowing to mellow out or warm up the tone of the wood. So for each subsequent coat, You only have to wait about 20 minutes, unless, of course, you have a lot of moisture in your air, or the temperature's down around that minimum of 65 degrees, in which case it will take longer. After 20 minutes to 30, you can sand it. Once you get it sanded, wiped off, you can recoat it from then on. Well, that's the first coat. Once you have 3 coats on, it's considered entirely sealed. And I got to tell you, I've been pretty impressed with the previous project that I made, where I poured water on it, and you'll see me use some water here in a minute. But I put water on it after only about 40 minutes, and it beat it up just like it had a coat of oil on top of it. All in all, I'm really rather pleased with how this performed. Not sponsored by it, but I'll tell you that it is available from Sherwin-Williams. Well, I want this to be the last coat. It's the 4th coat of lacquer that I've put on this top. And I don't know if you can see it in the light or not, but it's got some hot spots in it. And it's got a lot more oh, I don't know whether you want to call it orange peel or bead or whatever they call it, than I want on it. Okay? Reason why is because I rushed it. I don't know if you can tell out there or not, but it's been raining for the last 3 days, and I didn't check the humidity in the shop. It was warm enough, but I think the humidity in here had to be close to about 90% because it was 100% outside when I did this. It had just stopped raining. I opened the doors and put the fan out there. But anyway, I'm going to try something here. I've used this before. What I normally do is I take this I don't know if you can read that or not, but it's like a Scotch-Brite, and it's listed as a ultra fine. I don't know what you know, one of these pads, and I use that between coats. But I have one here that 3M makes, and it's called a final finishing pad. They're white, and they're not quite as aggressive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dampen this surface down, and I'm going to take my random orbital sander, turn it down on low, and I'm going to try polishing this and see if I can get those get this finish to even out on here. I don't mind if it's just a little bit bubbled. I don't really have to have it laying out perfectly smooth on this. On the other parts that I painted, they don't have a perfect finish on them either. So I'm going to go ahead and try that, and we'll get a look at it. Let's take a place here where maybe we can see. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's an area right in here that's not as shiny as the rest. And we'll come back to this area and look at it after I get done. So set you up, let you watch, see how it comes out. So okay. Okay, we'll let that dry, and then we'll see what it ends up looking like. Well, that cleaned up pretty good. I like the way it looks. I'm gonna let this harden. It's only been 2 hours since I put that finish on it. And then I'll put some of my Johnson's paste wax on it and bring that sheen down so it matches what's on the rest of the furniture. The nightstand needs to match the chest of drawers and the bed. It doesn't have quite that high of a gloss. So here's that top I glued together with those biscuit joints, and wanted to show you an error I made. I was trying to keep this pattern here and didn't pay too much attention. So I had these boards about 3 inches longer than they needed to be, and so I shifted it all to that side. Whenever I did, my biscuits show. About near everyone I know's made that mistake and put the biscuits where the cut goes, but this isn't a big deal. Those color up. I can get them where they're, at least they're not on the front. I can get them where they're camouflaged in there pretty good, but it's one more thing you got to look at when you're doing biscuits, whether you're using the one on the Shopsmith or using a handheld, and that's don't put them too close to where you're going to be making a cut that'll show on the edge. Okay, so I'll show you those biscuits. This is looking up from the bottom. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now let's look at it from the edge. You see that one right, let's see, there. That one right there. That one right there. That's looking straight on the edge. Now we'll go to the top. Got one right there. One right there. And one right there. I think that's hidden pretty well. I don't expect anybody to be laying down on the ground looking up, looking for biscuits on that edge. So I'm not gonna go ahead and try to get in there and take a chance on getting anything on there. But what I did is I took a brown magic marker, and after the first coat, I got in there and I put that magic marker on it. Blended it in the best I could, and then I took the next coat, coated over the top of it, so it's sealed in there, it won't wipe off. But anyway, I'm not gonna mess with those anymore. I think they're plenty well hidden. I don't think anybody's probably, one of these days somebody may spot them, but I don't think casual observer will. So that worked out better than I hoped. Well, better than I thought. Okay, so put a coat of paste wax on it. Got here a piece of my favorite winter PJs. Gonna cut the legs off, turn them into summer PJs, see if I can get a little more use out of them. The knees are worn out of them. So I'm gonna polish this up, and hopefully this finish blends in here pretty good. dulled it down just a little. I like it. Evens out the sheen. That's one really good thing about it. Okay, so now I'm going to buff it. Oh. Well, that's kind of what I was looking for right there. Just a little bit duller. I think I like it. I'm going to call that a wrap. There is one more video coming out after this, but my grandson Kaden, he's away at summer camp. He's going to be gone for a while, so in the next few videos we're going to do something entirely different. I've got several projects I've been backing up, and I'm just going to run a few of those through. I'll make sure the next time that I put out the video with this project, I'll make sure that I put that in the title so you know when it comes back. But anyway, I'll see you on the next one. I really do appreciate you watching, and I hope you have nothing less than a wonderful day.